wanted to come back live. I'm not bowling, but if you bowl in any tournaments in South Florida or watch the PBA this year, then you've seen Austin Grammer. If you bowl any of the regionals down here in the South, you've seen Nick Larsen. So, you know, it's a good matchup down here. Austin Grammer was the top seed, so he didn't bowl in the first round of stepladder. Nick Larsen beat Connor Ecker, 257 to 246. And this is the semifinal round, so the winner of this one will go on to the finals of this Green Acres Extreme Gold Coast Bowling Tournament. End up being who makes the mistake first. Ooh, or who just gets unlucky. Sorry, I had my mic next to my speaker. Oh, nice. Which one? Can't go wrong with a hammer. Can't go wrong with a motive either. But hammer is not a bad brand. Nice. Lane. Got that one in there a little better. My best score is 300 and 794. Although, did not get the 300 in the 794. My 300 was a 690 because the next two games couldn't find the strikes. Wow. That's good. It's we always like having people join this sport. You know, good or bad. I feel like I'm good sometimes, and then I come into these tournaments and bowl against PBA professionals, and realize I'm not as good as I thought I was. I finished plus 13 today, and Austin finished, I think it was like plus 250 or something. I don't know, I didn't see his final score, but I know it was way up there. Alright, those 10 pins were not mistakes, but you just let that one get outside. This is South Florida. Green Acres right now, to be exact. About an hour and a half north of Miami and about 2 hours south of Orlando on the east coast of Florida. Oh, went high that time. The Wi-Fi in here, it froze on me twice today. Right now, Austin getting a strikeout for a 246. Nick can strike out for 279. And that does it right there.
That was a nicer response than ever given.
You give me 2 thumbs up.
There would have been 2 fingers up.
Looks like Nick Larsen will be moving on to the next round. Yeah, Austin really only had one bad shot, and that was the 8th frame. But the 10 pins, the 10 pin in the 4th, 5th, and 9th, they just, the ball just died out just a hair before it got to the pocket. Just kind of rolled out. So it just never was able to drive through the pocket. Back to back on this line that Nick went high. But let's see how that translates to his next game. We'll move over to the other semifinal match and see how that one is going. The winner of this one will go on to bowl against Nick Larsen. The winner of this one will go on to bowl against Nick Larsen. Oops, sorry, I put my mic down next to the speaker again. Alright, so here we got Michael Way bowling, or Weil, sorry, W-E-Y-L, and Chad Newman. Right now, Chad can strike out for 239. Michael Weil can strike out for 246. So even though he's got the open, because he's got a 4-bagger, it's keeping him ahead. So Chad's going to need to string some together here. And that's not going to help him. 3-6-10, the easiest, hardest spare in sport shot bowling. On a normal house shot, you just throw it out to the friction, and you have no issue. But on a sports shot, you get out of balance out there. I'm gonna move this over because that table is rocking. Michael just has to kind of keep it clean the rest of the game, and he should be able to move on to bowl Nick Larsen for the final. Unless, nope, okay. Chad's max score right now is 202. And Michael can still shoot 246. Hello, Xavier. Very nice looking shot, but the lane is tight, so just didn't give it a chance to come back. Anybody looking for the Austin Grammer versus Nick Larsen match? That one has ended. Nick Larsen won that one. He shot 258. Austin Grammer finished with the 211, but he didn't try in his attempt in the ninth frame because it was already out of reach. So, it was a very close match up until the ninth frame. Looks like Michael Weil was throwing the monsoon for his first shot. That's the new storm. Well, not new. I think it's been out for like 2 months now. It's their higher end of the lower tier, stronger core, or it's a medium core, but it's if you're looking for a storm bowling ball, that's definitely a good one to have in the bag. I do not know what ball Chad is throwing there. I don't know all the bowling balls. And that one's just black, so kind of hard to see a pattern on it. Okay, so it looks like it'll be Michael Weil moving on to face Nick Larsen in the final. And so in qualifying, the final standings were Austin Grammer plus 285 over 5 games. That's averaging over 250. Michael Weil finished plus 211. Nick Larsen finished plus 114, and Chad was plus 108. And then third and fourth were Daniel Lamy and Connor Ecker, who were plus 193, plus 174, but they were both eliminated in the first rounds. So now Michael Weil will get to decide which lane he wants, because he is the higher seed. signal. Okay, no, we got it. Where's your spot? Okay. Alright, so they're each getting some practice shots on each lane. And then Michael will decide who will be starting first. Alright, Nick keeps his strikes rolling. Looks like Nick Larsen is throwing the alert. And Michael has switched to the Ion Max Pearl. Nick's been dialed in the last couple of games. It's actually, I believe, he was saying that this is his first time making it past the first round. He just, for some reason, hasn't had success in the step ladders here. But he seems to be doing really good today. Okay, it's not. I mean, it doesn't look great for the first 3 frames, but Nick did start going high later in the game and the last round, near the end of the game. So if he does start to go high, it'll start bringing in the 6-7 splits and some 6-8. Basically the 4-9 and 4-10 of right-handers, but as a left-hander, it'll be on the opposite side. That one got a little out. Often when bowlers miss outside, they tend to pull it in. So, obviously, Nick is a higher caliber than normal house shot bowlers. So I don't expect him to make a big adjustment, but a lot of times somebody goes a little high, they end up going or a little out. They come high in the next one. Well, he got lucky there, only leaving the 4-pin. Now the question is he going to overcorrect on the next one? Once you miss your line, like if you're dialing and you miss your line, if you watch some of the guys even on the tour, once they miss, it sometimes is very difficult to get back online, and then some people just find it. So let's see how it goes. That is the Black Widow 3.0. This is my first time commentating. I've never done this before, but saw Austin and Nick bowling and figured, it was a good opportunity since I'm not in the tournament anymore. So don't expect a very lively commentator, but I will try to give you some facts or insights. I don't have a lot of facts, but I'll try and give you some insights when I can. Hello, Sports Bro. All right, let's see what he does here. Does he get it back online, or is he going to be trying to search for it? That looks good. Ooh. That is not what you want. Wasn't a bad shot. These pins are on the newer side, so they are a little harder to get the 10 down. So right now we got max score of 256 for Michael and a max score of 268 for Nick. There we go. Got that online. He seems to be dialed back in. Doesn't seem to be too phased from the outside miss and then inside miss, although his outside miss did strike. And then just that last one, he's rolling out a little early. But that last strike now, looked great online. So Michael's got to get some strikes. And that is a good one there. And a little bit of hold, hit that pocket just barely high, which is kind of what you want to get that 10 pin out. That was a miss, but it was actually a really good shot. He had a little bit more loft on that one than he had on the other ones, so it gave it that finish. He missed outside of his line, but it was actually a very, very good shot. And now Nick got a little outside again. Didn't miss much outside, but it was just enough to get it to hit the headpin a little light, and it just pushed the headpin in front of the two. So Michael still has a max score, 256. And Nick's max score now, 248. When the lanes are working against you, they're just working against you. Goes perfect in the pocket, leaves the 7 pin, gets it a little high to try and get that 7 pin out, leaves a 8 pin. Michael can strike out here for the win and shut it out. All right. That was the same line he got on that last one, but he didn't get any loft. So the access was just not as strong. So not as much right to left motion, which is why it just didn't get back to the pocket the way the last one did. But that now put them at a max score of 245 to 247. So Michael now needs to strike out to force Nick to go strike 9. Whatever Michael does here, Nick pretty much has to match. Okay, so he got the loft that time. I mean, the way Nick has been bowling in this in the finals, you know, it would the next final to lose, but you know, he's also gone 9 spare, 5 out of the last 4 frames. So That was what Michael needed to do. Force Nick to double. I'll walk over there in a second, move the camera, so we can get a better angle on Nick's next 2 shots, 3 shots. But I don't want to do it just yet. I don't want to distract him. All right, so Nick will have to go strike 9 to win, strike 8 to tie. Anything less is a loss. Roll? Nope, didn't get the roll. Oh! I have no idea how that worked, but it got it. Must have just been falling straight back, which made it really hard to see it. All right, so he's got another chance. Last 2 went very light, and that is. That is the unfortunate. Throw a perfect shot, leave the 7 bang.
I was in there. I was like, it's gonna hit it. I was like, that's not a way to do it. I knew it was gonna hit it.
So Michael Weil is won our Extreme Cold Coast Bowling Green Acres Scratch Tournament. Well, not our. It's Larry Brand who puts on the tournament. Extreme Gold Coast Bowling on Facebook. But thank you for joining. And I'll got some people watching, so I'll start streaming some of the finals more often. Because it's fun to watch, and hopefully my commentating will get better. Larry is taking a picture of Michael for the Facebook page now, with the Green Acre sign in the background. Okay, thank you all for joining me, and have a good day.